Hey, welcome back to the Grit Culture. Please like, share, and subscribe. Get to update news as we continue to attempt to grow this channel. Try to keep the people informed. I want to talk about this. Many black leaders are outraged with Joe Biden. You know, you got groups like Black Lives Matter. They haven't spoken. They haven't had a chance to speak with Joe Biden. Their calls have basically went unreturned. They basically have a letter about it on their website. They haven't received any response from him. You know, they're trying to set up a meeting so they can have their list of demands. Many people are just outraged now about the news that he's unlikely to cancel student debt. And, you know, he has his reasons because he says, you know, it could bring a lot of legal, bring a lot of legal battles into play. You know, you got people that unfortunately they agree to a contract. That's why you got to read the fine print. But they agreed to a contract, and so they're binded to that. They're binded to that. And so it's unfortunate because just how the money system and just American economics and the history and how some people just have advantages over others, and people trying to make better for their lives. So yeah, it puts people at a disadvantage, to the point to where they have to get these loans. They can't afford to just be paying hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars for for these schools and things like that to get to get advanced education and get the positions and get the proper paperwork that they need to have a sustainable lifestyle. And so that's why it's so important, like I say, to have the structure around to keep an independent lane, to maintain your independence and create lanes for yourself so you can create lanes for others. So they won't have to depend on these systems that that are exploitative, that exploit people, like the whole loaning system, just everything. The whole money system is exploitative. It's all debt. It's all borrowing, money itself, all this fiat cash. So, but Biden's right. It's just interesting. A lot of the things, especially this, and then you got the call with the NAACP leaders. It's just interesting. I wonder if he would have said these things before he was elected. And it hasn't been made official yet. He's the projected presidential elect. It'll all be certified in January. Hasn't been made official. But yeah, I wonder if he would have received the votes, would have received the support that he is getting now had he said these things. And I'm pretty sure he would have, because him being the opponent to a person like Donald Trump, just so much hate for Donald Trump, some of it justified, some of it media propaganda, a lot of it media propaganda. But in many ways, I wouldn't say Joe Biden is the good guy. He's more like the anti-hero. Anything but Trump. People have gone with that. People have gone with that mindset when it came to electing him. It's basically anything but Trump. He wasn't the first election even when they were having the Democratic primaries and different things like that, like him nor Kamala. I think Kamala was the least like that out of all the Democratic candidates. It was one of them. But when you start getting the corporations, the corporate oligarchs, and they start choosing their people, there's a lot of money behind these guys. And so they can thrust them They can thrust them to the forefront when any time they want, and create that illusion of selection. They got their guys. All these people are their guys. You're in this illusion, believing you have a choice, but you don't know who these people are. They've gone through the ringer. They've gone through the different programs to make them quote unquote qualified for these positions to even be a choice, to even be a candidate, to be on that stage. Of course, you got people who are independents and other parties, but like I said, you're not seeing them in these debates or anything like that. So, you should have listened to that Zoom call. Was interesting. Everybody should listen to that Joe Biden Zoom call with the NAACP leaders. He said a lot of things, like I said, he said things in there I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have said before the election. Talking about how, defunding the police was the wrong way, having that chant was the wrong way to go, which I agree with. You gotta hold them accountable for their actions. Mainly by the Constitution. But, knowing your, federal, state, local laws, what's allowed. We talked about these things. You have to have knowledge of these things so you can know exactly how to attack the things that need to be changed, things that need to be amended. So he was right on that. Just like I questioned would he had said these things prior. Would he have said this on the debate stage? But that's what it's all about. These elections are just about placating and trying to get, find the most vulnerable audience, that you can find, or where you can get yourself in. It's all a game. And that's why they attack things. They use, celebrities like Cardi B, who have no knowledge of anything, but they know there's a fan base. They know there's a large fan base that they can utilize. It's manipulation, but it's smart. It's smart. And so, whole politic things is a game. But, going in there, people have every right to vote for whatever reason. Whether they don't know it's because they don't like the other person, they have every right to do that. Now, do they get what they asked for? Yeah. You're going to get what you asked for. That doesn't mean stop asking. That doesn't mean, stop the fight and stop making demands. But don't be disappointed if it doesn't happen, because nothing was promised to you. If you listen to the call, the very condescending response that Biden gave the NAACP leaders when they had their list of changes and demands that they wanted. And he basically went on an angry rant talking about what he's done, and his loyalty should never be questioned, and he was the first to do this. And this is a whole lot of bullshit, a whole lot of lies, things that made no sense. A lot of things that made no sense. I was the first to talk about Charlottesville, and I was the first to talk about this. Like, people haven't been talking about this stuff forever. There was plenty of people talking about Charlottesville. Said he was the first, white or black, to raise hell about that. It's a whole lot of nonsense, but like I said, you keep demanding. People have the right to keep demanding. Just don't be disappointed if you don't get anything. Black Lives Matter shouldn't be disappointed because, like I said, Like Ice Cube tried to say. There was nothing in it. They told Ice Cube when they contacted him that they'll have the talks after he's elected. So there's nothing promised there. Nothing's promised when voting these people in. But that wasn't the objective. The objective was to get Trump out of office. And for the most part, that looks like that's what's about to happen. So hopefully it's a learning lesson. Hopefully this is a complete learning lesson, but people don't learn. If you like I always say, people don't learn from history, and there will always be a new villain, and it'll always swing. The balance will always swing left to right. Nothing will change. Nobody will audit the Fed. They'll always go untouched. A corporate entity that's separate from our own federal government. They operate like a mob, but they have control over our government, but they're not part of it. So these are the different things that you should be asking, attacking, and having understandings about. When you understand that, then you understand where everybody else stands in their position. You got to just pull back the veils and really see who these people are. So there's no reason to be mad. No reason to be mad at Joe Biden. Joe Biden's going to do what he does. He's a politician. Politicians lie. Even the ones like Trump that say they're not a politician. He's a politician. Corporate puppets bought off. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you think Biden will get anything done beneficial? If you're black, do you think that you made a mistake, or you still let me rephrase that. You're black and you voted for Joe Biden. Do you think it was a mistake, or are you still happy with your decision? I don't care who anybody voted for. That's your personal preference. I didn't partake in any of this. I voted independently. But I don't have a problem if you voted for either one. So let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you later.